From WBNG, the Southern Tier's #1 local news. This is 12 News at 11.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for 12 News at 11. I'm Zach Grady, and we begin tonight in Newark after a Newark Valley High School student was involved in a fatal car crash on Monday. The school hosted a vigil in his honor earlier tonight from 9 to 10 p.m. at the school's gymnasium. The Newark Valley community came out to attend and share their memories at the event. Instead of candles, those in attendance were encouraged to use their phones' flashlights and glow sticks to illuminate the ceremony. The school touted the event as a time to reflect on the joy and light brought into their lives and to celebrate the students' achievements and contributions to the school. Principal Edward Mertzen talked about the strong sense of community at the event.
We have, hundreds of people here tonight. They, not only current families and students, but there's a whole bunch of alumni and community members that don't have kids in the building are here tonight to show their support.
Mertzen also emphasized that the community is standing behind the other students involved in the crash and is hoping for their full recovery. We head over now to the Weather Center as Chief Meteorologist Howard Manges has a first look at our forecast. Howard, I know we had a little bit of weather going on earlier, but it sounds like we're out of the path here.
We are, absolutely, yeah. This afternoon and evening we had the risk of severe weather. Thankfully, all of that severe weather stayed south of us, out of the Binghamton area, but here, that severe thunderstorm watch expired at 9 o'clock. So again, we are in the clear here tonight for the rest of the overnight. And take a look at the national or the regional radar. Still a lot of heavy rain and some thunderstorms down through Pennsylvania's capital there over to Allentown, Scranton as well, still getting some rain. But look at that line of thunderstorms moving right now into Rhode Island, crossing out of Connecticut, up on its way up to Beantown there. Pretty good line of thunderstorms. But closer to home, look at this. Much quieter. That bodes well for an overnight. 11 degrees cooler tonight than what it was yesterday, so it's going to be a very comfortable night for sleeping. Temperatures, yeah, we're in the 50s and 60s. Most of us in the low 60s right now, but continuing into tomorrow, things are looking okay. But how about Friday on into the weekend? I'll give you that extended forecast coming up.
Thank you, Howard. Last month, WBNG reported on proposed legislation that would make it unlawful to discriminate against a person solely on being unhoused. Tonight at 6 p.m., Binghamton City Council had a public hearing in the City Council chambers where members of the community could voice their opinions. The proposed legislation would make it illegal to displace someone solely for the fact that they are unhoused. This comes after Rebecca Rathmel, a member of the Fair Housing Advisory Board, requested the legislation as she said the unhoused have reported discrimination in the form of limited access and forced displacement. City of Binghamton Mayor Jerry Cram says that the passage of the law is unsafe for residents of the city, children who may walk by the area of the encampments, and even the unhoused themselves. Cram said there is a better way to help out those who are unhoused.
Local taxpayers and residents need to know that this will impact neighborhoods, and I don't think anyone wants to see someone living on the street. It is a tragic sort of situation. We want to invest in the things that get them off the street, get them the services that they deserve. But allowing individuals to live in tents and not having a way to remove them from public and private property would make Binghamton the next city to follow in the footsteps of San Francisco or Ithaca that have let these homeless encampments get out of control.
The Binghamton City Council president says that the council will not be voting on the matter tonight, but they are listening to community members and possible experts on what the implications could be. The president of the council says she is not locked into a position as tonight is still part of the legislative process. In Tompkins County, residents in Dryden and Caroline may soon have more access to internet services. According to the release from the town of Caroline, a local broadband provider, Dryden Fiber, was awarded nearly $9 million in federal funding. The town says Dryden Fiber is the only municipally owned and operated internet service provider in New York State. The competitive grant was awarded by New York State Connect All Offices Municipal Infrastructure Program. Officials say Dryden Fiber will construct over 125 miles of fiber optic line to reach over 2,650 new locations. New York State's cider industry has undergone a transformation in the last decade. Cider is now more frequently served in cans and more approachable than ever before. This is according to Beer Tree brewer Ben Brown. Brown spent 6 years making cider before taking his current role at Beer Tree. He says that a refined palate is the key in the brewing process.
Consumers never see your specs. They're only tasting your cider. So you really want to make sure that your palate is dialed in enough where you can understand what you're tasting every step of the way, which usually involves you tasting cider that's halfway through a fermentation sometimes.
Brown says Beer Tree Brewery is in the beginning stages of a process that would allow them to produce their own cider. Governor Kathy Hochul announced today that $38 million in capital grants at 33 colleges and universities across New York State through her Higher Education Capital Matching Grant Program. In a statement released today, the governor said, quote, "With this funding, my administration is reaffirming our commitment to providing our students, including those at our private, not-for-profit institutions, with a top-tier New York education with the best possible resources and facilities that will help them succeed inside and outside of the classroom." Today, the Cannabis Advisory Board gathered to hear updates from the Office of Cannabis Management on the continued expansion of New York's legal cannabis market. With 137 adult use retailers open for business across the state and hundreds of licenses pending approval, OCM's ongoing emphasis on education, mentorship, and equity has established a foundation for a sustainable and socially responsible cannabis industry. In a press release today, Joe Belloc, chair of NYSCAB, said, quote, "The CAB applauds the strides made in expanding legal access and fostering economic opportunities while prioritizing equal and social responsibility. We remain committed to ensuring that our guidance continues to shape a thriving and inclusive cannabis landscape for New York." Earlier this week, the U.S. Surgeon General declared gun violence a public health crisis. Firearm deaths among children have gone up nearly 90% in the last decade, and the American Academy of Pediatrics urges doctors to discuss firearm safety with their patients. For many, it's remained a taboo topic. Nikki Batiste reports on doctors working to change the conversation around safe gun storage.
This gun range may feel a world away from a doctor's office, but these are medical professionals training to save lives by learning about guns.
I felt like I had a real deficit in talking about firearms with patients.
We sat in on the class Dr. James Bigham teaches at Max Creek Gun Range in Wisconsin.
First thing I want to start off with is the bullet.
With shop and gun owner Steve DeRazio.
That's part of being the responsible gun owner, is knowing right from wrong.
A primary care doctor and professor at the University of Wisconsin School of Medicine, Dr. Bigham asks his patients about how they store their weapons in routine visits.
People may feel it's too personal, but as a physician, I absolutely think I have the space to say we got to be doing everything we can to protect our children, our communities.
In 2018, the NRA tweeted regarding this topic that doctors should stay in their lane. What's your response to that?
Yeah, I think this is our lane. As a primary care doctor, if I'm willing to counsel you on alcohol consumption, tobacco use, how you drive in your car, I got to be talking about firearms as well.
Is this a Second Amendment issue?
I don't think so. I mean, we have the right to bear arms. I sell guns. That's the last thing I want to do is take away my guns. It's not about taking away, it's about safety, and that's it.
Nearly 500 people a year die from accidental shootings. Gun suicides are at an all-time high for adults, and suicide rates for children have risen dramatically. Access to unlocked firearms in homes makes suicide nearly 4 times more likely. There are about 30 million children across the country living in homes with guns.
Studies show a child as young as 3 has the strength to pull this trigger.
Pediatricians at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia say asking parents about safe gun storage is as important as asking about bike helmets and pool safety.
Are there any guns at home?
Dad is in the Army, so there is one, but we actually got a lock here for it.
To share your experiences.
Dr. Dorothy Novick is also teaching these soon-to-be doctors how to broach the triggering topic.
All of the injury prevention, safety counseling that we offer, we now wrap firearms right into that conversation to really make it normal.
The hospital provides these gun locks to families, one step in making homes safer.
This is really a conversation about safety. This is not a question about politics or ideology. And in fact, people from all across the ideological spectrum all agree that firearm safety is really a fundamental tenet of responsible firearm ownership.
Critical care, starting with a life-saving conversation. For Eye on America, Nikki Batiste, Philadelphia.
Coming up still here on 12 News at 11, the great race motored through Binghamton today, and 12 News was on the scene. We have all the details when we return, but before we go anywhere, here's a live look at downtown Binghamton. Chief Meteorologist Howard Manges comes back with the latest forecast after the break.
Have you ever seen this man before?
Hi. They're a tag team of legal eagles.
My name is Mason.
Ben Matlock. A duo of courtroom commanders.
Are you sure?
And they're both part of the...
Objection? Objection, Your Honor.
Objection. Objection Connection.
Your witness, Mr. Berger.
Gotcha. So put a little habeas in your corpus with Ben and Perry.
Weekdays starting at 9 a.m. on Binghamton's MeTV.
No further questions.
When Susie's cancer kind of reared its ugly head, we wanted to have hospice care for her. We needed to hook up with Helios here in Oneonta. So we had nurses and caregivers coming in and out of the house. It was really like angels coming in every day. And they were great at explaining everything in a very loving and compassionate way. And you should have a group like Helios to help you through the journey. Call Helios Care.
Dear Triathlon, let's splash through rushing rivers, take on iconic trails, and race straight to the top. What's the point of winning if you can't kick back and enjoy the view? Yours, Toyota SUVs.
Lease a new RAV4 all-wheel drive for just $319 a month, and you've got everything you need to take adventure further. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
This month at Matthews Mitsubishi, get lower financing rates on select 2024 Mitsubishi Outlanders. Just 3.99% with $1,000 customer cash. Or choose a new 24 Eclipse Cross and get 4.99% financing with $500 in customer cash at Matthews Mitsubishi on the Parkway or MatthewsMitsubishi.com.
We put everything we have into this, bro.
You have been chasing this impossible dream for so long.
Spencer!
The path has not been easy, and it may not get easier, but today it is closer.
Everything we've accomplished has come with blood, sweat, and tears.
This is nothing compared to the next level. Welcome to the big leagues, bro.
It's a journey with no perfect roadmap.
We can't save people from pain. All we can do is be there for them after to help pick up the pieces.
I did not spend the last year rehabbing just to crumble when it matters the most.
We come a long way, man.
We worked hard to get here. Come on.
When you leave LA and you go wherever the NFL tells you to, you just hope that you're ready.
Game time.
All American.
Mondays at 8 on Binghamton CW.
The Great Race rolled into Binghamton Wednesday afternoon. More than 100 cars, and some of those cars more than 100 years old, motoring into the southern tier, and WBNG was on hand for the showcase of classic cars.
The Great Race is a cross-country track for classic car lovers. Beginning in Kentucky and going all the way to Maine, the race passes through downtown Binghamton every year, the official halfway point of the Grand Prix.
It's a huge economic driver. We're getting people downtown
They're enjoying food and beverages, and honestly, it's very educational as well. I mean, we've got all kinds of families here. They're learning about automotive history. We've got everything from a 1916 Hudson to a 1975 Volkswagen.
The Rotary Club of Binghamton helps put on the event each year. One of the club's past presidents, Lana Roof, says the Great Race is a great way for the club to give back.
It certainly gives our members an opportunity to come out and really serve our community in a wonderful, fun way.
More than 100 classic cars enter the race, each with both a driver and a co-pilot along for the ride.
It's not a speed car, so we had to compensate for that. So you have, we don't have a radio, we just concentrate and we just try to stay on course, so it's real important.
For some of the drivers, the race helps pave the way for the next generation getting behind the wheel.
Young people want to get into this hobby. They don't know how to do it. We try to help them understand all the different career things that they can do to be a part of this great world.
Alongside all the classic cars, the Great Race each year brings with it food, vendors, live music, and much more to the streets of the southern tier.
Well, we were down outside of the Visions Veteran Memorial Center. It was a little bit rainy, but we will check to see if that's still the case now. So we head over to Howard Manges and our weather forecast. Howard, what's going on out there?
Not much right now. Things are much quieter than where we were at just about 5 or 6 hours ago. And that severe threat, as we mentioned before, is over. And no risk of any severe weather here the rest of tonight. The radar and satellite continues to show a lot of quiet weather in the Great Lakes. That's an area of high pressure that's going to build in for a couple of days. Look at the rain stretching from New England back down into New York City, over southeastern PA, all the way down, essentially the Appalachian Mountains, all the way down into northern Alabama and northern Georgia. There's a closer view. Thunderstorms, nasty ones, rolling into Providence and on their way up to Boston, and another area of thunderstorms that is does have a severe warning on it over toward Philadelphia. So in that line right there is now severe, heading into Rhode Island at this hour. Yeah, not dry, but precipitation is moving out. You'll see off into the Catskills some light rain there, and that's it for tonight. We've got temperatures in the upper 50s to around 60 degrees. 62 in Stamford, Norwich, Sherburne, Plymouth, all coming in at 62. Shenango, Greene, also coming in at 62. So I think with light winds out there right now, we could end up seeing some areas of fog. If I haven't checked observations in the last half hour or so, but those dew points upper 50s to near 60 degrees, very close to the temperature. So I do expect, especially with wet ground, that we saw from the rain today, I expect some fog to be around there. Storm threat, it's over for tonight. Quieting down for tomorrow morning. A nice day ahead for Thursday. Be a cooler day. And then as we continue into the weekend, it will be unsettled, I think, with a chance of some showers both days. 6 to 10 day outlook, July 2nd through the 6th. Right now, New England, northern Great Lakes, trending toward an equal chance of above and below, but right now we're in the 33 to 40% chance of above average strip. But again, no real strong signal of either way really when you head up just north, up toward central New York and certainly northern New York. Precipitation outlook, yeah, look at this. We're looking at the same period, July 2nd through the 6th, a small chance of above average precipitation during that period. Speaking of precipitation, tonight, we're done with it. By tomorrow morning, some areas of fog, some clouds, but then we get into some sunshine as we move through midday tomorrow. Really nice afternoon on the way. By 7 o'clock, partly cloudy to clear. Early Friday morning as well. A nice start to the day, and as we continue into Friday afternoon and Friday evening, it really will be quite a pleasant way to get heading in toward the weekend. And speaking of that weekend, it will be unsettled. On Saturday, we have some showers and some rain around, perhaps a rumble of thunder. Near 80 on Sunday with maybe a shower or thunderstorm there, and then early next week, temperatures will be climbing through the 70s. Could be back into the mid-80s by Wednesday of next week.
So I'm not wrong, as you say, the thunderstorms are shipping off to Boston?
They are shipping off. Is it shipping off or shipping up?
I don't know. Either way, it's a bad drop kick. It's a drop kick.
Oh,
it's a bad joke either way. Yeah.
But they're shipping up to Boston, shipping off to Boston. Yeah.
No, it's nice to see that, as we were talking about at 10, that hopefully we have a chance of some nice weather for the holidays here. So. Last year, not so much. A lot of damp, cold, dry holidays. Dry holidays.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we had, we could plan on it being dry, but, you never can do that. We'll always have outlook for you, and fingers crossed that we can keep the 4th dry.
Well, anyone who's out on a boat is hoping not to be dry anyway.
There you go. That's a good point.
Still here at 11, the NBA draft tipping off tonight. Our 12 Sports team tells you who went where and where they went after the break.
We're the Sven Squad from Svengoolie, part of Super Sci-Fi Saturday Night.
On MeTV, we're not in the movie. We're just kind of around the movie.
And after Svengoolie...
Holy clockwork, what next?
You'll see a Caped Crusader, Captain Kirk, Kolchak, and a collection of classic sci-fi. The corpse in me is just dying to see them. Corpse?
And no one can talk to a corpse, of course, unless, of course, they're famous.
No talking during the show.
Sorry.
Super Sci-Fi Saturday nights on Binghamton's MeTV.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. That's why Spectrum offers the fastest speeds in more neighborhoods than any other provider.
Switch to Spectrum Internet starting at $29.99 a month. Call 1-855-412-7647.
With Spectrum Internet, you can power all of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and gaming. I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too. Call now.
In everything I do,
I'm gonna dominate this season.
I do it to be the best at it.
No one should have to fight their battles all alone.
Work hard, don't complain.
This is going to be the best year.
Take it in,
yet.
And give it all out.
Well, damn, let's just get it started.
I'm trying to reclaim my life, but so much of it is gone.
You got me.
The thing I think you and I need more than anything is distance. Something's off with my swing.
Accept the things you cannot change.
And have the courage to change the things that I can.
Baseball is in my blood.
Baseball almost killed you, JR.
I haven't heard back from any of the schools I've applied to yet. Ain't nobody worried about you.
I'm not here about us. It's a team. I messed up.
I did what you asked. You told me to make a choice.
All-American Homecoming.
Season premiere, Monday, July 8th.
Car enthusiasts, start your engines and grab your tickets to the Napa Auto Parts Syracuse Nationals, July 19th through the 21st at the New York State Fairgrounds. It's the Northeast's largest car show with more than 8,000 classic cars, hundreds of vendors, food, and live music all weekend. No matter what kind of car revs your engine, you'll find it at the Syracuse Nationals. Kids 12 and under get in free. Grab the family, ditch those screens, and start encouraging the next generation of car lovers. Get your tickets and find more information at SyracuseNationals.com.
This week on Svengoolie,
'tis the eve of the Witches' Sabbath.
Great, with witches, imps, and evil villains. It's Roger Corman's The Undead on the next Svengoolie.
Do you know this man?
Saturday at 8 on Binghamton's MeTV.
This is the Jeff Kai's Auto Sports Desk.
Welcome back in. I'm Michael Villegas, and this is the Sports Desk. The NBA off-season is in full swing with the 2024 NBA Draft tipping off Wednesday night. The Atlanta Hawks selecting Frenchman Zachary Risacher with the first overall pick. The 6'9" forward is now the second straight French player to be selected #1 overall after Victor Wembanyama was selected with the top pick last year. 19-year-old Risacher played in France's LNB Elite League and averaged 11.1 points and 4 rebounds in both the Euro Cup and French League. Fellow Frenchman Alex Sarr was taken second overall by the Washington Wizards, and Kentucky guard Reed Sheppard going third overall to the Houston Rockets to round out the top 3 picks. Before draft night, the Knicks were making moves with a trade for Mikal Bridges from the Nets on Tuesday night. Now, the Knicks keep one of their own, as ESPN is reporting. They intend to re-sign guard OG Anunoby to a 5-year, $212.5 million deal to stay with the Knicks. OG opted out of his contract just days ago, but he doesn't spend too much time on the free agent market as he returns to New York. And the Rumble Ponies not playing tonight as Game 2 against the Portland Sea Dogs was postponed due to the weather. The game has been moved to Friday, June 28th as a doubleheader starting at 4. So if you had tickets for Wednesday's game, don't worry, you can still catch the game this Friday. Over in the Subway Series, first 2 innings goes scoreless, and then the Mets get the offense going in the bottom of the 3rd. J.D. Martinez starts it off with an RBI single that brings in Lindor. 2 batters later, former Rumble pony Francisco Alvarez gets his 4th homer of the year to bring in 2 runs and follows it up with an RBI double. This one went into a rain delay, 4-0. In the 5th, but has now resumed, and the Mets come back and put up 4 runs in the 5th. Judge gets a 2-run homer, his 30th on the season. Mets up 11-2 in the top of the 8th. When you hear the name Tommy John, it's usually in relation to a medical procedure many baseball players go through, but many don't think of the 26-year career he had on the baseball diamond, and some want to see him in the Hall of Fame. Ben Verneback has that story.
Terre Haute legend Tommy John is known not only for his successes on the baseball diamond, he's also known for receiving a revolutionary medical procedure that would change the sport of baseball forever. I had a chance to sit down with Tommy, and we discussed baseball, life, and what it means to come back here to Terre Haute all of these years later.
Tommy John is one of the most well-known names in baseball history. Over his 26-year career, he played for some of the most historic franchises in the MLB. But it all started at the old Spencer Field here in Terre Haute.
It's where I learned my baseball. And all the stuff I did in the big leagues was learned here in Terre Haute.
Tommy would regularly pitch over 100 times per game. This led to a tear in his UCL tendon in his elbow, throwing his career into question. I asked former New York Yankees pitcher Joe Vrbanek, who also happens to be my uncle, what kind of toll pitching in the MLB can have on your body.
Find out what you're made of come September late in the year. You never thought much of it when we were playing as far as the grind, I mean, you just did it. That was your job.
Tommy John went on to pitch for another 15 years after the surgery, something that would not have been possible without the experimental procedure.
Thank God that I was where I was when I was, and I had a doctor with the intelligence of Frank Jobe.
Tommy's family is hopeful that one day he will be inducted into the MLB Hall of Fame. Now, although this hasn't happened yet, fans across the nation and across the world have been advocating for Tommy to be included. Even if he doesn't make the Hall of Fame, one thing is for certain: the Tommy John name has changed baseball forever.
That was Ben Verbanek reporting. And over on the pitch, ESPN reporting that longtime forward for the U.S. women's national team, Alex Morgan, will not be on the roster heading into the 2024 Paris Olympics. Morgan, who will be 35 years old next week, took to X to express her disappointment, but says she'll still support the team. Head coach Emma Hayes released the 18-player roster on Wednesday, 10 returners from last year's World Cup. This marks the first major tournament without Morgan since the 2008 Olympics.
Thank you for that report. Appreciate it. And we will be right back after this, so don't go anywhere.
Rethink how you get breaking news.
A rooftop collapses at a suburban hotel.
With Local News Live, you get the big national stories direct from local reporters. Reporters who know the streets and the people. Authentic, unfiltered, live where the story is. Stay close, stay connected, because the big breaking stories are best told by those who live it.
Local News Live, always streaming on all 12 news digital platforms.
Hi, it's Elvis Duran. Thanks for listening. We are just the family sitting around the table.
Best answer ever!
We're always fun.
Wake up with Elvis Duran and the Now Morning Show every morning on Now 105.7. All the hits for Binghamton.
We gave it more passenger space. We elevated the design. And with Google built-in, we made its tech intuitive. With the all-new Prologue, we've made it easy to go electric, just like you'd expect from a Honda. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP on select GMC Sierra models.
Visit Matthews GMC of Vestal today.
This month at Matthews Chevrolet, lease a four-wheel drive Silverado 1500 Custom Crew Turbo Max for $449 per month for 39 months. Or choose a new Equinox LT all-wheel drive and get financing as low as 3.9%. Or save over $3,000 off MSRP at Matthews Chevrolet or MatthewsChevy.com.
The 2024 Dick's Open has come and gone, and 12 News was right there on the sidelines every step of the way.
Welcome in to our continuing coverage of
bringing you exclusive stories, player interviews, and live weather forecasts.
This is such a cool thing.
And it's been 51 years since the start of the BC.
It's the coverage you can expect every year, live from the Dick's Open, right here on WBNG. Sponsored by these local businesses.
Hi, it's Elvis Duran. Thanks for listening. We are just the family sitting around the table.
Best answer ever!
We're always fun.
Wake up with Elvis Duran and the Now Morning Show every morning on Now 105.7. All the hits for Binghamton.
Finally at 11, and even though he won't be competing in this year's contest, competitive eater Joey Chestnut will be celebrating the nation's birthday, doing what he does best, eating hot dogs. However, it won't be in New York at Coney Island. As reported, he is being banned from the Nathan's Hot Dog Contest. Instead, the world record holder will be competing against some soldiers at Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas. It will be part of the Army base's annual Pop Goes the Fort Independence Day celebration. Chestnut has been competing in the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest for almost 20 years, but he was banned from competitive eating this year as he struck a deal with a different vegan hot dog brand. And I would love to see what the odds are on him versus Kobayashi.
I don't understand how they can humanly eat that many hot dogs in that amount of time.
Yeah, I don't know either. They dip it in the water. It looks disgusting.
It doesn't
I'm
matter.
a hot dog fan, but I can't eat that.
So what are we thinking? 4th of July, a WBNG hot dog eating contest?
No.
Are we in?
Don't know about that. I love hot dogs, but not...
Make it happen, viewers.
Yeah,
but
I enjoy tasting them.
Thank you for joining us tonight at 11. Come back for the 12 News in the morning with all the latest news, weather, headlines. Head over to our website. The Late Show is next. Have a great night.